Go to the sample database, new query, go to tables, and production.product is the table we are going to see in this scenario. Let's query this table production.product and see the columns and data within this table. Select it, hit run, and you can see many columns, but the product ID, name, and one more column, the product subcategory ID. These are the three columns we are interested for this scenario. So let's rewrite this query with the first column, product ID, the second column, name, and the third column, product subcategory ID. So only these three columns we will be using for this product in this scenario. You can see the three columns, product ID, name, product subcategory ID. So some of the columns are null, but if you scroll down, you can see some values. Let's go to the requirement now. So you want to find the subcategory name to which each product belongs. This is the first condition. And also we need to find if any subcategory name is not assigned to a product name. So we have to find two things. So the first is we need to find the subcategory name for each product. And the second is to see if there are any subcategory name without a product name assigned to it. So there are two conditions. So to do this, we will be using a full join in this scenario. First, to find the subcategory name, we have to go to a second table. Just scroll down. This is the table. So the second table is going to be production.product subcategory. So in this table, we are going to get the subcategory name. So let's query this table, product subcategory, select it, hit run, and you can see the product subcategory ID, name, and many columns. The product subcategory ID, you can see it in the first table also, the product subcategory ID. This is common to both tables, and this is the column name we are interested in, the subcategory name. So let's rewrite this query with these two columns. The first column, the common column to both tables, product subcategory ID. The second is the name column. So the name column is the subcategory name. It's not the product name. So execute. You can see only two columns in the output. So if we see the first table, you can see product ID, name, product subcategory ID, and in the second table, you can see the product subcategory ID and name. So the name column, if you see, it looks like common to both tables, but there is a difference to that. The name in first table is a product name, and the name in the second table is going to be the subcategory name. So that is the difference. So let's copy the first table. And we'll join this now, and before that we'll give an alias A for this table. Since we are getting these three columns, product ID, name, product subcategory ID from the table production.product, we are going to use the alias A in all the column names as a prefix. Next, we are going to do a full join with the second table, production.product category, and give an alias as B. So for the second table, if you see in the second table, we are going to get only the name column from the second table. So I'm just including this column name b.name. So the B alias refers to the second table, product subcategory, and production.product and production subcategory are the two tables which has a common ID, that is a subcategory ID. So we are going to join using the common column product subcategory ID using this on keyword. And now you can see all the columns along with the subcategory name. If we scroll down, you can see the product ID 680. It has a name, and we also can see the subcategory name for the product. Likewise, you can see the subcategory names for all products. So that is the first condition we need to find. We need to find the subcategory name to which each product belongs. So we found the subcategory name for each product. So there are some products without any subcategory name. And the second requirement is also we need to find if there is any subcategory name without a product name assigned to it. So the name column, the product name column should be null for any subcategory name. So if we go through the subcategory name column, you can't find any product names as null. So it means every product name got assigned to a subcategory name. So you can't find any null values. So for the second requirement, so all product names got assigned to a subcategory name. So that's why you're not able to find any null values in the product name column. So we did the full join for the two tables using the common ID, subcategory ID.